Hey there guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Less Than Average Gaming. Today we're taking a look at the brand new hero released on the Overwatch PTR, Orisa. We're going to be taking a bit of an in-depth look at some of her abilities and the way she plays in-game. I have got some gameplay footage in the background. I would say she's in a bit of a reasonable state at the moment, balance-wise, and she seems to fit quite well into the roster of heroes at the moment. She's a little bit of a jack-of-all-trades tank, offering multiple support options, which are all pretty interesting. Anyway, starting off with her basic weapon, the Fusion Driver. This is a projectile weapon which delivers sustained damage, but slows her movement speed as she fires it. This is very reminiscent of something like D.Va's fusion cannons. There are 200 rounds in the magazine, meaning you can shoot for about 17 seconds before needing to reload. Each bullet does about 12 damage, meaning it will take about 17 body shots to kill a 200 HP hero, or 9 headshots. As you can see in the background, if you do start landing some headshots regularly, squishy heroes will actually just melt. As I mentioned already, this is a projectile weapon rather than a hit scan one. They are quite fast-moving projectiles, however, but you will still need to lead your shots if you do want to hit moving targets. Those are most of the basics of her main weapon. Now moving on to her first skill, Protective Barrier. Orisa will throw out a stationary barrier that will protect her and her allies from harm. This ability has a 12-second cooldown and a total of 900 HP. The shield isn't actually as large as something like Reinhardt's shield or Winston's bubble, but it does share a similar size to something like Symmetra's shield, but only it doesn't move. It does, however, only last for 20 seconds or until it is destroyed. The barrier is shot out in an arc, which we will become more accustomed with after using it after a couple of tries. I know it did take me a couple of games to work out how far the thing was actually going to fire, where I could aim it to get where I wanted it to land, and so on. So just mess about with it until you feel comfortable with it, and you should pick it up pretty quickly. Her second ability, Halt. This is her alternate fire ability in which she fires a graviton charge, which when detonated will slow enemies and pull them towards it. This ability moves in a straight line over a seemingly infinite duration and distance, or until it actually hits something, or until you activate it with the same button. This will pull enemies towards its center and drop them. This is actually an incredibly useful ability with only an 8-second cooldown. It can be used in a number of different ways, including grouping up the enemies so your teammates can deal damage to all of them, pulling enemies out of cover, distracting them, allowing you to get an easier kill, and it can also drag them off cliffs, as you can see here. Unfortunately, you won't get a cheeky play of the game by pulling people off cliffs, as the ability does deal no damage, so maybe shoot them first before you try this for the ultimate play of the game satisfaction. The pull on Halt has about an 8 meter radius. This does only work on targets if they are in line of sight of the orb. Her third ability, Fortify, temporarily reduces the damage Orisa takes by 50%. It also prevents her from being affected by action or movement impairing effects. This ability does have a 10-second cooldown, and you can still move and fire your weapon while this is active, so it doesn't actually stop you from putting damage down range. This is a very, very strong ability. With this, Orisa can avoid getting stunned, rooted, slowed, knocked back, and frozen. And lastly, we have her ultimate ability, Supercharger. Orisa deploys a device shaped like a bongo drum for good measure, which will increase the damage inflicted by her allies within her line of sight. This will buff allied damage by 50% and has a 25 meter radius. This ability has 200 HP, so it can actually be destroyed by the enemy if left unprotected, but if not destroyed will last a full 15 seconds. You can see me using it in the background here. 50% damage increase for everyone on the team is actually incredibly powerful, and when protected can make the difference between a successful push and an unsuccessful one. So do put your shield in front of it, block it with your body, do whatever you have to do to protect this little treasure because it is super powerful. That about covers all of her abilities, guys. It will be interesting just to see how well she fits into the roster of heroes when she goes onto the live servers. Anna and Sombra are on the PTR for about a week or two, so expect to be able to play Orisa very, very soon. But one more thing before I go. One thing I did notice when playing Orisa, that the configuration of her ability seems a little bit off. Normally, as a tank class, you'd see some kind of defensive ability as the alternate fire, a la D.Va and Reinhardt. This can be a little off-putting when playing Orisa, as it's usually, right-click is actually bound to the Halt ability, which isn't defensive, it's kind of a niche ability, but so you don't really want to just be like hitting right-click and having that happen. You'd rather be using your defensive ability. So I would probably recommend, if you are playing on PC, changing her Fortify ability to your alternate fire. This makes it more accessible and you'll probably take less damage overall. But anyway guys, that's all I've got in terms of numbers and tips when it comes to playing Orisa. Thank you very much for watching this one. I do love when they put new heroes into the game, and I do love Orisa's design. She's still learning how to defend people because she's only a month old, as built by Effie Oladelli. And her design is super cute. Like, she's super polite as a basic new robot. It's so super cute. If you did like this one, guys, make sure you hit like and subscribe if you do want to see more of these ones. I will do my best to make a video like this whenever they release a new hero. Also, click on the little bell icon after you've subscribed. That will let me know whenever that will let you know whenever I upload a video. This has been Luke from Less Than Average Gaming, and I hope you guys have an above average day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!